Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and happy Monday. Today we're going to talk about the James Charles billboard that was put up back on Valentine's Day. I know it's been a couple weeks since that's happened, but one of the big reasons why I waited to talk about it was because I wanted to see if Ethan was going to step back up and re-talk about this. I know he's much older now and he tells his story again, and I really want to focus on that. But we are going to start with the billboard first because I think it's just so crazy. Like, so much has happened, and I am interested on your thoughts about it and about James Charles himself. And do you still follow him? Do you still support him? I'm very curious. So let's get started, and let's start here.
A billboard calling out makeup artist and beauty influencer James Charles has been erected in LA that states, "Say James, I hear you text him young." Then in the left-hand corner it says, source BBC, James Charles, YouTube star, admits messaging 16-year-old boy. Now, the billboard itself was put up by YouTuber Ethan Klein of H3 Podcast, and he has recently posted a TikTok video talking about it. In Ethan's video, he states that in light of the Epstein files coming out and thinking back on Harvey Weinstein, and everyone always saying, how did they get away with it for so long? That essentially people are letting it happen again with James Charles. Just a refresher on these allegations.
I totally agree. Like, I love that he put this billboard up, and the fact that James Charles admitted to doing this and being wrong on it is just kind of crazy that we just moved past it. And I really appreciate Conspiria T. I think she puts everything together so eloquently, and that's one of the reasons why I picked one of her videos to go through it. So let's just continue.
Several teenage boys have come forward claiming that James communicated with them mainly through social media that have alleged that even after James learned that they were under 18, he still continued communication with them. In fact, in 2021, screenshots were posted as proof of these incidents that James initially denied, where he later posted an apology video admitting to it. However, since 2021, many men have come forward with similar experiences, including Ethan Rhett. Despite this controversy, James still maintains a massive social media following with 23 million subscribers on YT, 40 million on TikTok, but he still continues attending brand events and collaboration. So in order to keep this issue in public view, Ethan held a contest among his subscribers to see who could come up with the best billboard design, then paid $10,000 to have the winning design displayed in Los Angeles. A billboard calling out makeup artists.
Yeah, honestly, it is so crazy that James Charles still has such a massive platform, that he was able to build a business, that brands still work with him on a regular basis, even though he is I don't think I can say the P word on here, because I think if I ever get monetized, it would monetize that. But he is, he's gone after children, and 14 years old is a child. And that is just so crazy. But I don't know how he managed it, but it was taken down. So let's watch this. Man. I'm sorry. Look, taken down. That is so crazy that it was taken down. Who did it? Because it wasn't the billboard people, because I know that they were contacted and asked, and I just think it's so crazy. But the crux of all of this is the fact that this guy, Ethan, was taken advantage of at a young age, because James Charles is famous and he used his fame to go after these younger boys, and that is just so wrong. But I don't want to say excited. I am interested to see Ethan's point of view as being older. So let's listen to it. Let's go through his story and let's talk about it.
Hey guys, my name is Ethan Rhett, and if you don't know me, maybe this will help you out once again. So when I was 14 years old, TikTok kind of became my escape. And then suddenly, I kind of blew up on TikTok. It was kind of like a kid's dream. People started paying attention to me. People were supporting me. It was everything I could ask for. I felt happy again after.
Yeah, I mean, what 14-year-old wouldn't feel excited to have a bunch of people like go to their channel and like and subscribe, and that's exciting. It's an adrenaline rush for sure. I couldn't imagine having all of that attention at 14.
Leaning towards that for my happiness, which doesn't sound good, but if you get what I mean, you get what I mean. So anyways, and then something crazy happened. James Charles commented and liked one of my videos. At that age and at that moment, you know, it was crazy. It was pretty freaking cool. It's like I accomplished something, you know, like, oh wow, a big creator is seeing me. Like I'm being put out to this person's page. I was not a fan of James Charles, but I knew who he was. I didn't really watch his videos or anything like that, but yeah.
I feel like everybody knows who James Charles is, regardless if you watch his videos or not. Like, you know the name, you know he's associated with makeup, you have an idea of who James Charles is. You may just not watch his content, which I don't watch his content either, but I know of James Charles.
Obviously, you're gonna know who that is. It's one of the biggest creators at the time. I was super shocked. I was super happy, and honestly, I could probably say I was proud, you know. Not long after he messaged me, hey, I responded almost immediately. Who wouldn't respond? It was exciting, but that excitement did not last long at all. The fun didn't last long at all. It honestly came crashing down just as quick as it all happened.
This is so sad. Like, this breaks my heart for him because he went through these massive emotions at 14 and dealing with these massive emotions at 14 and dealing with a lot of stuff that he shouldn't have to deal with as a child because he's being put in a situation where, you know, somebody who has a lot more power than him is getting in contact with him. And as a child, you want to, like, respond.
And I've already talked about this before. Hold on, I'm sorry. Anyways, months ago, I tried to talk about the situation once again, but it all came crashing down. I was getting threats, not just towards me, but to my family as well.
Why are people doing that? Why are people defending James Charles? Like, he's still, in my eyes, just a child because, I mean, I don't know. He's got to be at least 18 now. I'm actually not 100% sure, but that's just like a baby. Like, I'm 31. Like, that's just a baby. Like, you just want to protect, like, people that are younger than you from having to go through this. So that just breaks my heart. And the fact that people are going after his family is just awful.
Or messaging my family. People were calling me closeted. People were just doing some pretty mean things. And on top of that, my videos got taken down once again. So I said, you know what, I'm done and I'm over it.
I really wouldn't blame him for that. Like, I would also just want to put it behind me. So the fact that he made another video about this is honestly just shows the, like, strength that he has, and it's just, like, commendable, truly.
No one believed me and everyone thought I was just making something up, which is my fault because I never showed as much proof as I do have, and that's what I'm going to do now. Conversations that I've had with my lawyers via email and conversations I've had with, you know, the detective in that state at the time, I kept to myself because, you know, that's not just my privacy. You know, those people have families as well, and I didn't want to get them involved. But why should I protect people who never protected me? So I'm going to be.
That's so true. Honestly, this is breaking my heart. And the fact that these people were not protecting this 14-year-old, I think the fact that, like, he looks even now like a baby to me, and, like, this just breaks my heart. The fact that nobody was protecting him is just awful. And it is awful. Like, I cannot believe that nobody was trying to protect him.
Speaking about it, and I'm going to be going deeper into it, deeper than I've ever been, with proof of me having conversations with my lawyers and emails and just everything else. I'm not doing this for the drama, I'm not doing this for the attention, but I'm doing this because the threats and the silence have gone on way too far, and my story deserves to be told in the full truth without hiding anything or backing down from anything anymore. What I'm gonna do now is pull up the clip of me kind of first talking about it and getting y'all to understand the full story. And then after that clip is over, I'm gonna be coming back and showing y'all the receipts of the lawyers I have and the proof of me being in contact with the Frisco Police Department and just everything else. So please just take time out of your day to watch this video. Even if you hate me and you don't believe me, please just try to understand what
He is gonna make me cry. I'm trying to pull myself back together, truly. I just realized that this was posted on December 1st. This was done before that Billboard was put up. I just like happened to have just now ran across it. I could not imagine not protecting like somebody that I knew that was like 14 years old, even at this age, and just people allowing this to happen and allowing it to get too far. And I think that's what's really bothering me, is that adults were allowing this to get too far. And James Charles is the one to blame. He is the adult in the room between the two of them. And he decided that he was going to go after younger children. This was a child when this happened. And people are taking James Charles' side because he is such a big influencer and a big personality online, and his downfall is just like, you can't, because of how big he is. But I do feel like the hate towards Ethan is ridiculous because he did absolutely nothing wrong. Like, he was a child. He didn't do anything wrong.
I'm coming from, and please let me show you the proof that I have.
Hello everyone, my name is Ethan Rhett, and if you don't know me, maybe this will help you. Before I get into the story, I want to say I am not meaning to hurt anyone's career or damage anyone's reputation. I just keep seeing things pop up on my page, and it's sickening, and it triggers me in a way, you know. But back when I was 14, you know, I wanted to do social media my whole life. It's something I really loved and enjoyed doing. I started blowing up. I maybe created my account 7 months prior before I turned 14 years old. I ended up blowing up, maybe around 700,000 followers on TikTok. Everything was doing good. I loved it. It was just amazing. James Charles commented under my post and liked the video, and it was exciting. You know, that's the biggest creator I've ever been in contact with or ever commented or liked my post, you know. Anyways, he ends up following me and he messages me, hey. I obviously respond. I'm excited, but that's where everything went downhill. It got really, really weird. Anyways, when we start going back and forth on TikTok, he initiates after a few days, hey, add me on Snap. I'm like, okay, you know, I was trying to hide the fact that I was excited. You know, it was really cool. I was hoping that this was gonna jumpstart my career even more into being an influencer, being someone, you know, making others happy, and just that.
The fact that children want to be influencers when they grow up is just sad. Like, my husband and I have already talked about when we'll allow our kids to get smartphones and when we will allow them to get on social media. And we've kind of decided around the age of 16, like, they're old enough to start making more adult decisions, but still a child, so we still have access to everything. We just refuse to have something bad happen to them because we gave them unfeathered access to the internet at too young of an age. Like, I don't care if all the rest of their friends have social media, because there's just so much bullying and online hate. And I know we were just figuring it out, and I definitely had access to social media a lot younger than 16, but I feel like that was a different time and a different world. We were all figuring out social media at that time, and I feel like it's just gotten so much worse. And I just don't want them to compare themselves to not only the people around them, but the people online. And it just like breaks my heart that like some of these kids are getting on social media, and just like, it's just sad. And like, choose something other than an influencer. Like, you could do so much more. These kids are so smart.
That was my intentions the whole entire time. Anyways, me and James start going back and forth on Snap, and he eventually asked me, you know, what do I plan on doing long term? So obviously my social media was picking up and et cetera, et cetera. But at the time, I really didn't know. I knew I wanted to be something and be someone and help others and just being an amazing person and spread awareness on social media, all that stuff. And I couldn't really give him an answer because I didn't know.
Because he's a child, he's 14. Obviously he doesn't know. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do at 14. Shoot, I didn't know what I wanted to do going all the way through college. I like love the career I'm in now, but I kind of fell into that. It was an accident. So like, why are you asking a 14-year-old what they want to do with their life?
It was, yeah, I wanted to, but is it something I really could do, you know? Eventually ended up telling him I wanted to get into modeling or acting or maybe even both. And, you know, he was very supportive about that, you know? He said, oh my God, you'd be such a good model, you know? You
I feel like that's creepy. Like, having an adult tell a child that they'd be a great model is so creepy, because James is an adult in this situation and he is a child in this situation, and an adult is telling a child that they'd be a great model. Like, how do you know that? You don't know that. You're just telling this child that they'd be a great model. Like, that's so weird. And I don't get me. I like when people tell little girls or little boys that they'd be great models. Like, that's just the creepiest thing to me. Like, talk about me grabbing my children and leaving as fast as possible.
would do so well modeling and just stuff like that. And obviously I didn't see anything of it. I was young. I was happy he was saying I could do that, especially coming from a really big and noticeable influencer. You know, I thought it was great. Brother kind of didn't tell me in a way, but my brother he kind of let me do my own thing. But he kind of noticed. You know, he didn't. How do I word this? My brother didn't think about it as the way I thought about it. My brother kind of noticed something, and I could tell, but it's just he was kind of just letting me do my own thing. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm just gonna jump into a more detailed version of it. I know y'all been waiting. I'm sorry. So James started getting extremely comfortable with me, and I just, you know, I was so excited. I didn't really realize it at the time. We were FaceTiming, which I will pull it up right here in this clip, this next clip.
I don't think so.
Anyway, so that part was me on the phone with James.
Yeah, and he has the receipts for it, so like, good on him for showing the receipts. And that obviously was James Charles, and this still just breaks my heart. Like, all right, let's keep going.
James that a friend of mine recorded just because he thought it was pretty cool as well, and I thought it was something cool to have, and I didn't think about it as any way to hurt him. And it stresses me out that my life is ruined because everyone thought that. It like, it's irritating.
I do not think a 14-year-old with who knows how many receipts he has. We obviously still have like a couple minutes left of this video, but I don't think a 14-year-old was maliciously like, let me get James Charles' attention, get him to message me, get him to ask me to add him on Snapchat, and get him to do all these things, get him to FaceTime me. He's a 14-year-old boy. 14. He was 14 at the time when all of this went down. 14 years old. And the fact that people are blaming him for they're blaming the victim for being a target of a predator.
Anyone, but like I said, I have the mentality of a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Ethan.
On the phone with James. Anyway, so that part was me on the phone with James that a friend of mine recorded just because he thought it was pretty cool as well, and I thought it was something cool to have, and I didn't think about it as any way to hurt him. And it stresses me out that my life is ruined because everyone thought that. It like, it's irritating talking about. I'm sorry, y'all. Anyways, James started becoming super aggressive with me. He would ask me to send him photos of my happy trail, which I didn't even have at the time, and because I was 14, I didn't have a happy trail, and I had.
Oh, yes, he is 14. Oh, that just okay.
Armpit hair, but he didn't ask for that, and I kind of avoided the question because it made me super uncomfortable.
Because an adult is asking for like pictures of your body in an inappropriate area, because a happy trail is like close enough to the junk that that's just beyond inappropriate.
I'm sorry, I lied actually. I told him I shaved my happy trail because I was afraid to tell him that I didn't have a happy trail or have any hair on my body other than my armpit hair. So I'm sorry, I lied about that. Anyways, you know, he kind of started being aggressive extremely after that. He told me, well, don't shave your happy trail again because I like that. And he was very intense about how he said it. I know it doesn't sound bad, but it was only if you could be in my shoes when that happened. It made me super uncomfortable.
As it should. That should make him uncomfortable. I'm not blaming him for not stop talking to James Charles because, again, James Charles is the adult in the room, but, I could only imagine how uncomfortable he felt.
Anyways, I go to bed that night and I wake up to him sent to me, and it made me very, very uncomfortable.
I don't know what he just said there because it bleeped out in the video, and I could only imagine it not being good. That's not something you should be sending a 14-year-old is all I can assess from that.
He would send me a photo of his behind in the mirror, and he also sent me a video of him in the shower, which those videos are somewhere on the internet. I'm sure you can find it. If I looked, I could probably find them in a Google Drive that we actually had for my lawyer. Anyways, he started realizing that I wasn't into that. He started kind of making threats towards me, saying he was going to diminish my career. He could easily ruin my career, just all types of nonsense, and it was bad. Okay, it was really, really, really bad. It started getting super intense. He started saying he was going to ruin my career, go out and tell people I was gay and I was closeted, which isn't an issue. That's not an issue at all, but it was still the fact that I was a 14-year-old boy, and it scared me. It freaked me out. Anyway, so that's when I made that video. There's a lot more that happened in the story, but this video is about 5 minutes long, so I will be making a part 2. Thank you guys. By the way, I just want to say I am not trying to diminish anyone's career. I'm not trying to ruin anyone. I'm just getting my story out once again.
The fact that he has to add this PSA at the end of this video is honestly insane because, again, he was a child when all of this happened and James Charles was the adult. Okay, I found this last clip and I want to play it.
Like I said, I have the mentality of a 40.
And this talks about James Charles's, preferences.
Anyone, but like I said, I have the mentality of a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
So for me,
Sir, no, you act like a child. You look like a child.
I'm much more mentally and emotionally mature than a lot of people my age. I'm not physically attracted to older guys, which sucks. I would date the absolute youngest, 18, 19 that looks a little bit older, or 24 that has a young personality.
Okay.
I'll show you next.
That's crazy. Okay, let's see what he has to say and the receipts that follow it because, oh my gosh. Okay, let's keep going.
There's a video of me opening his snap on Snapchat of him saying 4 years. And what he's implying is 4 more years until I'm 8.
That's crazy. James Charles literally being oh my gosh, only 4 more years until you're 18. That's so bad.
18 years old.
And then I replied to you again and you said, wow, you look so good. And you said, OMG, so do you. I said, finish my makeup, sent you a selfie. And you said, can you do my makeup and I'll give you a haircut? I said, yeah, I guess. I said, I hate putting hot guys in makeup.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Smart. I'm not good at taking compliments.
No, I can tell.
The last video I'm going to show you is a video of him telling me he doesn't like putting makeup on hot guys because I saw he was doing his makeup and I said, hey, maybe you can put makeup on me for a YouTube video.
I hate putting really, really hot guys into makeup.
I love that he has these receipts because I feel like they go a long way, honestly. I'm here for the receipts. But again, James Charles is the adult in the room.
Started talking back and forth and he mentioned that he was flattered by me flirting with him the night beforehand.
Sorry about last night, you're very attractive. And then I responded with, it's all good, very flattering actually.
I cannot deal with clinginess. I hate clinginess. I don't like flirting to begin.
What's crazy is this is the same makeup that he had in that Snap video.
With. I like doing the flirting. I like a man who's like gonna bully me a little bit. Like, good morning, dumbass. We kept talking, and this boy is close to my age, and he was like, you're just so successful, like at our age, like how do you do that? And he's telling me how he really wants to move to LA and be an underwear model. So I was like, okay, like interesting. So does every other little white boy from the South.
Okay, so he's obviously talking about Ethan. This is so crazy.
So I was like, well, if you want to be a model, let's see what you got. At this point, I was thinking he was still messing with me, but he started sending a bunch of photos in his underwear. And me being the absolute
14. He's 14.
supermodel that I am, I started critiquing his photos. So it's like, oh, your butt looks really bad in this one. Like, your face looks really bad in this one. Like, get it together, gal. If you want to be an underwear model, you got to step your game up. Somehow the conversation shifted to like his body and how he wanted to look better, and him saying, oh, I feel like you'd give a very good, if you know where I'm going with that. So I was like, yes, I do, but why are you asking? And he's like, oh, I would totally let you. At that point, the realization that he was in fact not kidding and was being dead serious hit me like a bus going 1,000,000 miles per hour. So after hearing that,
Oh my gosh, he's telling this to his little brother. Somebody comment, why is he telling that story to his little brother? Ooh, no, I have an older brother, but I also could not imagine like having that conversation with him. Ooh, no, this is gross.
I was in it to win it. This all happened at like 2 in the morning as well, so I'm sure you can imagine like what was going on in the brain at this point. And things started getting really, really flirty, really fast, and also very, very out of hand.
And out of pants, apparently.
Yeah, if a photo was not enough, there's obviously a lot of details to the story that I do not need to get into, but I will say that this very long and late night ended with him FaceTiming me and doing his business.
Gotta be kidding. Please tell me you're joking.
I'm not kidding.
Anyone, but like I said, I have the mentality.
Why would you, I don't care who you're talking about, why would you ever tell that story? I just, oh my gosh. I guess my issue is like I cannot fathom how James Charles is still as famous as he is and how he never went to jail. Like, I get that a lot of people don't want to rehash it, go to court and go do all those things, and I totally get that. I totally respect that. But oh my gosh, like, he has had so many things against him, and it's just kind of crazy. I feel so bad for all of the guys that James Charles has preyed upon, and the fact that this has truly affected Ethan's life is just absolutely terrible. And the fact that we're just allowing him to get away with it and still continue to make millions of dollars and still be like as popular as he is, and the fact that people are still defending him is really crazy and just so unreasonable. I just actually don't understand how you can defend somebody like that. All right, I'm sorry, that was a little heavy on a Monday. I do apologize. I actually didn't think it was gonna get that heavy. I really should watch these videos in advance, but I only kind of brush through them before I like add them to the list of videos I want to talk about. I hope everyone has a great Monday and a great rest of the week. I am looking forward to the rest of the videos I'm dropping this week. I hope you have a wonderful day, and please like and subscribe. That really helps the channel. And please let me know if there's anything else that you want me to talk about, or if there's anything happening that you want me to talk about. I'd love to talk about it. Really, nothing's off the table for me at the moment. And yeah, I can't wait, and I hope to see you on Wednesday. Bye.